Hello, Darren.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. So you've been playing the character Darren on Hollyoaks for over 10 years now. We'd love to hear a bit more about him and why you relate to the role.
Well, in my long stint of being in Hollyoaks, I think Darren's been in explosions, he's been shot, he's been stabbed, he's lost the pub, he's lost his family home with gambling, he's had a premature baby, he's had a miscarriage, and he's been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So you always think, imagine someone's life was actually like that, they wouldn't be anywhere near what it was today. But it's been a fun ride, and it's always interesting coming up with new ideas.
So in 2008, your character Darren began gambling, which later developed into an addiction. How would you best describe Darren's relationship with gambling?
Oh, Darren's relationship with gambling, it's like this is Achilles' heel. When everything can be going well, he always feels that there's a way of making money, and it's to make a quick buck, doing the gambling. And I think he believes he's in control of it when he's doing it, and he's done very well for a while now. Sort of in remission, is that what you say?
Yeah,
Gambling.
I think so.
And because he lost the family home, he lost everything.
Yeah.
Trying to help the family, but obviously he used gambling as his way to make the money. And there are great highs with gambling, which he had, but he also had the great lows. And once you've got nothing to gain, and you can't even gamble. So yeah, it's a rocky road.
Well, it was quoted in the press that Darren always believes his next big win is just around the corner. And one of the key values of the BigDeal campaign is to encourage people who choose to gamble to understand the odds behind the game. So do you think this idea of lady luck takes over sometimes from the logic of the facts and figures and the odds behind gambling?
Yeah, I think people see gambling as it's very glamorous, isn't it? The idea of it, and the idea of winning a lot of money, and your dreams can come true. But reality is that you're not going to win that big at any state. To win big, you need big money to put down, and then you're increasing the risk. And I think definitely with Darren, the whole idea of being in the casino and winning the money and the glamour it brings, and back in the past it'd be the ladies it'd attract. Money brings ladies and everything else. So for him, that's what it was. It was like being in a film. Whereas the reality is that it's not that easy, and there's a big crash. That's what it comes to.
Do you think it's kind of like this other lifestyle that's all down to kind of
Yeah, I think it's just the idea, the money, and having knowing what you're doing and feeling in control. But that's not the truth behind it. The truth is that it is luck. You can understand, you can know the odds of something, you can work it out. And that's the funny thing about any gambler, they think they've got their own little way, and oh no, I've got a little way that I can, I always do this, and I always do that, I always have this number, and it always works. That's not the case. Look at the odds and look at the facts, and that's not the truth. And I think with Darren, he had a good run, and because of that good run, he then believed he was in control. And the fact is, you're never really in control of gambling. That's why it's gambling.
So when you first read in the script that Darren would become addicted to gambling 9 years into playing the role, how did you choose to change the way that you played the character on screen?
Well, that's a funny story, because they always say, when you're doing a storyline, you should do some research. So obviously I took myself straight to a casino and went and had lots of fun. Well, no, I didn't. I think it's very important to understand, what it is that you're going through when you gamble. And I've been before, I played poker with friends, and for me it was just about sort of understanding that feeling, which is, you sort of feel dead from the inside out, I think, when you've been to a casino and you've won a bit of money and then you've lost it all. And whether, it's a small amount or a lot of money, that feeling is terrible. You feel like a complete loser. You feel like you've let yourself down, your friend, you feel like, and I think the main thing about that is it's a pride thing. And I think that's the biggest lesson from trying it and doing it, and bringing onto screen. It's it's like having an affair with someone, and especially with the missus at the time in the show, it becomes this little secret, and it's like something's going on. So almost for the other half, they feel that you're cheating on them in some way, and what's going on, there's something secretive going on, and it's your little affair with this gambling. And I think the thing is, in your head, you think, I need to go and see that gambling, I need to go to see the casino again to make my money back. So you're always thinking about the next time you can get there to make the money. And again, you'll lose more, and it just gets deeper and deeper. So I think it was actually trying it out, not to a bad extent, but just understanding the fun you can have there, and the highs and the lows, basically.
So how did the other characters sort of find out, how did they handle Darren's addiction when they found out about it? So for example, Jack or Nancy, how did they deal with it?
I think at first with the gambling, when the family found out, I don't think people take it seriously at first. I don't think people really know, someone's got an addiction. It's like any sort of addiction, but with something like drugs or alcohol, there are physical, attributes to someone's behaviour that you can tell, you can look at them and see there's something wrong with them, or they're drunk, or they're this. Whereas with gambling, it's a lot more internal, and it depends on the person you are and how you deal with it. And I think a lot of people would be able to hide an addiction like that very easily, and you wouldn't know why they're maybe being a bit snappy or a bit depressed, but that's something you can't pinpoint unless that you find out, or you catch them at it, or you see their bankroll basically. And I think that's the sad thing about it. I think it's something you could hide very easily. And again, because of the pride thing, it's not something you're going to tell people about. And if you do, you're a stronger person, and that's the way forward.
So Darren has always been a character that, at least on screen, other younger sixth form characters such as Esther and Ruby have always looked up to. Do you think that, as well as an established member of the cast, Darren is somewhat of a role model in the village?
Darren and role model are two words I never saw get put together, but I think, like I said, through what he's been through now, he has matured, he's learnt a lot, and he's been from the highest highs to the lowest lows. So in some ways, he's a bit of a role model now. He's sort of got a family, he's keeping it together, they've got the pub back, and as it stands, he's doing well, and he's been a good father, and he's learnt from his mistakes. So for now, he could be a role model. But I think, again, once a gambler, always a gambler, so you never know what could happen with that. And if times change, or even he gets bored, or he starts being successful, that's the thing with the gambling, you don't know what causes it. If you start doing well in life and you've got a load of money and you feel like, actually, no, I'll go and enjoy myself and do this, it might start off like that, but it could go the other way. Because the problem is knowing when to stop, and I don't think Darren knows when to.
Well, we're obviously really grateful for your support with the whole new Big Deal campaign. This is the first major online resource in the UK to support young people with gambling. Why do you think it's a good initiative to get involved in?
The first thing that drew me to this charity was when I was sent, the information on what you do and how you approach gambling. Now I know with anything, whether it's addictions, whether it's gambling, any problem in life, you do have charities, and I think that's the hardest thing, is to draw people into it and make them read, the information you've got, because a lot of the time it's like having a lecture, or they could see it like that. And again, it's about that thing of, I'm in control of this, I'm fine, I don't need to know these things. Whereas the way they've addressed in this charity and in the website, which is very easy to use, you have the information on gambling. It actually teaches you about the odds, it teaches you about how and why they do what they do, which gives you a better insight into how to tackle a game, or just to understand what it is you're getting yourself into. So I think with anything like that, knowledge is key, and if you at least know a bit more about what you're doing, then you can't say that you weren't given a chance.
That's really great. So you mentioned a little bit about the website there. What do you think of the Big Deal website?
The website's brilliant. It's got videos that are very clever, because they explain the feelings of what goes on, and they're not just simple videos. They're very funny, and also the website is easy to use. It's got the pointers for where you might want to go, whether it's information about gambling, the odds, whether it's if you feel you might have a problem, and also where you can go if you've got a problem. So it's very helpful, and it's not pushy. It's there for help, and I think anyone should read it if they ever go to a casino, just so they know more.
So finally, if you could give a young person who is now, or a friend who is struggling with gambling, what advice would you give them?
I'd say that knowledge is key, basically. This website offers you an opportunity to read up on odds and the facts behind gambling. And the thing with the gambling is you can start at a very young age. When you're at school, you're having bets with your mates, with your pocket money or your dinner money. You could end up betting your trainers away or something like that. And it's fun. Gambling is fun, and it can be fun, but if you take it too far, it can be your worst enemy. And I know at school and stuff that could lead to bullying or anything, because if you're not paying up, or bad things can happen. And I think the main thing is just to make sure you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, and if you have a problem with it, try and seek help. and their help is there and it's confidential, so you don't have to worry about your parents, teachers, friends or anything. It's someone you can speak to and feel at ease that no one's going to find out. Give them a fake name if you want to, it doesn't matter.
That's great, thank you.